What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today we're going to be talking about our first look at Ashika Island, our brand new Resurgence experience, and some other details you may have missed about our upcoming map. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and let me know down below in the comment section, how excited are you guys for Resurgence in Warzone 2.0? Will that make you guys come back to the game if you guys previously abandoned it? Will we be playing that more than regular Battle Royale or Al Mazrah, or are you guys still waiting for Plunder? Let me know all your feedback down below. But tomorrow morning we'll be streaming here on the channel with our official TAC map reveal of Ashika Island, and we'll probably get a blog post as well, which will break down live with all you guys in chat. Hope to see you guys there. But earlier this evening we did get a bit of a reminder from the CDL that if you watch the CDL from February 2nd to the 5th, you will get your hands on the following cosmetics. We have a iced out weapon blueprint there for a sniper, a groundhog shadow emblem, a full sailed emblem, an animated emblem called Salty, a GG weapon sticker, as well as two different calling cards. One is called Cooking Up Some Dubs, and the other one is Rootman Gets Paid. So definitely some cosmetics that leaked out quite some time ago, but are finally going to be launching with the first week of February. I'll leave some CDL information down below in this video's description. But as you guys saw during the intro of this video, we did get our first official teaser for our Resurgence experience coming into Warzone 2. They have the hashtag Resurgence Returns, bit of a tongue twister if you say that fast. And it did say the TAC map reveal is going to be tomorrow. Turn notifications on. Enjoy moments of zen before battle. So this does, of course, give us a very close look at what the TAC map's going to look like, and it does exactly resemble the TAC map leak that came out a good, 2 months ago now. Something happened where an email went out or some hard drive was stolen. Something happened where somehow someone had access to the TAC map for the Resurgence map, which I can't show you on screen for obvious copyright reasons right now, and that TAC map reveal did confirm that it will support 24v24 ground war, DMZ, and of course Resurgence over for Warzone 2.0. And in the replies of this tweet that we got from Call of Duty, they do confirm the name of the map is going to be Ashika Island. It was kind of odd though, since they didn't actually mention the name of the map in their original tweet, but it was a random reply to somebody out there that did mention it in the thread there, as I'll put on screen so you guys can see. And I guess that kind of rolls in the tongue pretty well, right? Ashika Island, kind of like Rebirth Island, definitely a better name than Fortune's Keep, or even Al Mazrah for that matter. So let me know how you're feeling about this name for our brand new map down below in the comments. I guess the question though is, how many variations will we end up seeing on day one of Resurgence? What I mean by that is, will it be solos, duos, trios, and quads day one? Will there be a battle royale option for the Resurgence map? If so, does that mean we'll end up getting a separate Gulag for Ashika Island? Since I do remember that Rebirth Island had a battle royale option back during Warzone 1's life cycle. It wasn't received all that well, since people out there loved Rebirth for the fast-paced Resurgence experience. So the slower-paced battle royale with the Gulag didn't exactly resonate that well with the community, but I'm sure variations or LTMs of that nature will end up coming out for Ashika at some point in the future. And I also hope that we can have a day where Warzone 2 says, okay, battle royale is live for Al Mazrah, maybe even mini royale trios at the same time, as well as your plunder, and then your regular Resurgence featuring a variety of options for that map. I hope it's not a case where Rebirth, or excuse me, Resurgence here for Ashika Island ends up getting rotated in and out because of playlist updates for battle royale, or eventually plunder, even DMZ. Hopefully they keep all these modes in the game as long as we possibly can get, since the rotation of Rebirth and Fortune's Keep definitely pissed some people off during the end of Vanguard's life cycle. Now also be sure to check out dammods.com for the safest Modern Warfare 2 services, such as assistance with Orion Camo or even bot lobbies. This works on all platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and even PC, and is trusted by thousands of customers. Trustpilot even has some excellent reviews for Dammods as well, which you can check out with the link down below in this video's description. Now, for those that missed the points of interest that leaked out a good, 2 months ago, let's recap that real quickly in the case these are 100% accurate for tomorrow's TAC map reveal. They could have changed some of these locations, or maybe even how the map is laid out. That entire leak was subject to change since it did come out a good 2 months ago, so who knows what might have been modified because of that leak alone. The points of interest include residential, water treatment, apartments, power plant, greenhouse, town center, castle, shipwreck, port, industrial ruins, and even the beach club. So considering this is an island, definitely expect the ability to swim. I would certainly say the points of interest sound like a blend between what we actually ended up seeing on Rebirth and even Fortune's Keep. But with the new ecosystem that Al Mazrah offers for Warzone 2, right, the ability to swim, having a bunch of vehicles, the mantling system, all of that should make this version of Resurgence that much more interesting and a lot different than what we were used to in Rebirth or Fortunes. I mean, here's the thing, right? Warzone 2 is different enough from Warzone 1, even with the upcoming improvements that we're going to be seeing in Season 2, it's still not going to be a one-to-one to the Resurgence we had for Cold War and Vanguard's life cycle, so keep that in mind when going into Ashika Island on February the 15th. But for those out there wondering, is this going to be the same castle that we ended up seeing in World at War and then remastered in Vanguard? I'm just going to go ahead and say no. We've seen this teaser from Charlie Intel over on their Twitter a couple of days ago. People out there claiming that Castle's going to be coming into multiplayer, which would mean we get yet another remake for multiplayer this season. That just doesn't seem to be accurate. They've kind of brushed it off when replying to tweets, and I just don't think we're going to see Castle 2 years in a row. That just wouldn't make sense. I mean, I could understand why it was in Vanguard, but the castle from World at War didn't invent castles. We're going to get an area that's named after it, but it doesn't mean it has to be the exact same map that we saw. I mean, even looking at the artwork leak that we saw a good 2 months ago, that also doesn't seem like the same castle at all, and I think the castle we get for Resurgence won't ever be seen in multiplayer, period, unless they release the entire Resurgence map for Ground War. I'm not sure if it's going to be sections or not that are playable in Ground War, but unless it's the entire map, then I don't think we're going to ever see Castle in at least 6v6. Maybe they'll cut a portion off for 2v2 gunfight, but I don't think a 6v6 map in Season 2 is going to be the same castle that we saw twice already in COD history. And also to build on that, I also don't think we're going to see any more remakes in multiplayer for the remainder of Year 1 for Modern Warfare 2. If a Year 2 happens, which has been heavily rumored, I think that's when we'll end up seeing all the remakes they probably have on deck. I mean, going along with the leak about a Greatest Hits map pack, I think that's best saved for a Year 2, which is what the leak says anyway. Therefore, I don't see any opportunity for them to release any more remakes through Seasons 2 through 5 or 2 through 6. They got the remakes out the way with Season 1, Shipment and Shoot House, just to kind of get that out there. People out there can do their camel grinding and stop complaining over on the replies of Twitter or YouTube. Now let's focus on some actual new maps for the remainder of Year 1 at least. But also with that, some other leaks you guys may have missed for Season 2 that we talked about in previous videos. Obviously, the artwork reveal for Season 2 that did leak out as well with the tech map does depict Ronin, a character that was in MWII. He's holding a katana in the art, which doesn't mean much, but people out there did data mine the following weapons for Season 2. A katana, which is going to be our sword, a shuriken, which does match the theme of this Japanese type of season, as well as a flaming throwing knife. And of course, there's been rumors about a crossbow and even a shotgun, but we'll stick with the melee weapons for now, since those seem like they perfectly fit with what Season 2 is going to be going for. It's going to be set in Japan. And with that being said, if you guys look at this leak of upcoming multiplayer maps that came out back during the beta, one of the maps listed in that list does say Tokyo. So I do wonder if for a full Japanese themed season, they're going to give us a multiplayer map that's completely disconnected from this Resurgence map, because I think people out there are going to be very upset if whatever the 6v6 map is just a portion cut out of Resurgence. People aren't going to like that. And first of all, Tokyo wouldn't really make sense if it's a part of Resurgence, because Ashika Island is an island, and Tokyo is not going to be just a point of interest you see on that island, of course. Unless it's a placeholder name that they were using, then I highly doubt they're going to do what they did with the launch of multiplayer, which is essentially put out a bunch of multiplayer maps that are just taken from Al Mazrah, right? The big Battle Royale experience. What I do expect, though, is whenever the Las Almas Warzone map comes out in the future, that'll be when you end up seeing a couple of portions from that put into multiplayer, even though we already have seen that through Ground War and regular MP right now for 6v6. A lot of areas are already pulled from Las Almas, so not going to be shocked when we end up seeing those areas yet again in the big Battle Royale map. But for Resurgence, I mean, at most, put in a couple of portions of Ashika Island into Ground War, but not for 6v6. There's just no way. So as of now, it does look like that's the evidence we are going to be seeing a Japanese themed season. Now, I also saw some discussion regarding this calendar that was found over in Warzone 2, and the calendar perfectly has the 15th circled. People out there assumed that that was a teaser about February the 15th being the launch of Season 2, and then there was the 9th also checkmarked on there, so everybody assumed that February 9th will also give us something, but the 9th of February doesn't actually fall on a Wednesday. That ends up falling on a Thursday, so there's one part to debunk that, but people in the replies to this tweet also mentioned that this is a reused asset from Modern Warfare 2019, and on top of that, February doesn't have 31 days either, so I think it's a big coincidence that we have the 15th circled on this calendar. But do keep in mind, February 8th is going to be a big day, since that's actually going to be the full blog post reveal about Season 2 and all the upcoming DLC, in which we'll probably also end up seeing the roadmap as well. Now, looking at the upcoming changes we're going to be seeing in Warzone 2 with Season 2, such as the 1v1 Gulag, customizable perk packages, the Pinata type of loot, 3-plate vest by default, faster movement when plating, easier access to loadouts, adjustments to buy stations, and the cash economy. I do wonder, though, if any of those changes are going to be held back from Resurgence specifically, where you don't see a full rollover between the quality of life changes in Battle Royale over to Resurgence. that could be the case. Keep that in mind, because we talked about this in a previous video. I want to see some of those changes be held back from DMZ. I think DMZ should keep some of the core gameplay we're used to right now, whereas Battle Royale should be the mode that gets the full overhaul. We don't have to see the same mechanics and changes across every single mode. However, I do think Battle Royale and Resurgence should keep even playing field with the same amount of features, same amount of changes. Those should remain the same and should feel the same in terms of what's being overhauled in Season 2. But yeah, keep some of that separate from DMZ, of course. But would not be surprised if we load into Ashika Island on February 15th and you guys notice that some of the things that you can experience in Al-Mazrah BR just aren't on Ashika Island. And it could be something that gets fixed in like a hot patch or something during Season 2 Reloaded. But want to throw that out there just in the case that ends up happening. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on our first official look at Ashika Island, our brand new Resurgence map coming on February 15th? What are your thoughts on leaked point of interest and everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.